Bond. James Bond. That's the name and that's the game, because they've released the first official trailer for the brand new James Bond game, 007 First Light. We will be taking a look at this trailer. It's a long ass trailer and it's Sony, so we are absolutely going to get hit because screw you, Sony. But we will have a look at the game. We're going to have a look at the information about it as well. We'll start off a little bit with some of the information, including what platforms it's on, and then we'll take a look at the trailer, and then we'll talk a bit more about the story of this. So it's saying IO Interactive, the award-winning developer behind the Hitman franchise, has officially announced its next major project, 007 First Light. Developed in partnership with Amazon MGM Studios, the game will reimagine the origin story of James Bond in a standalone, narrative-driven experience launching in 2026. Revealed earlier today, 007 First Light is a third-person action-adventure game coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store. So we're going to have a look at this trailer now, and then we'll break down what exactly is in this trailer, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what this game actually is. So without further ado, here is the trailer for 007 First Light.
His parents cut their own rope to save him. He watched them fall, then found his way off that mountain. He was 11 years old.
He then started a grand tour of every major boarding school in Britain.
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority, same thing in the Navy.
His superiors all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No, and I suspect he feels the same way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
Do you have an appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond. He's with me.
And you are? Don't think we've had the pleasure.
Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
So you shouldn't have.
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on the board.
009 is a master manipulator. Whatever the endgame is, we won't see it coming.
Jet lag gets me every time.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
Tell me, what do you do, James?
Lately, headhunting. I suppose this is another teachable moment.
Oakley dokley, there it is. There is your trailer for 007 First Light. And the first thing that strikes you is, my god, there's a suspicious amount of women in this trailer. Yes, it just seems to be woman after woman after woman in this James Bond trailer. And did you notice none of them are white, even though it's a game. Isn't that interesting? M is now an Indian woman. Like, what the hell are we doing? But overall, this game is garbage. What the hell was that? Number one, it doesn't feel like James Bond. Number two, he doesn't act, sound, or move like James Bond. And number three, most importantly, this looks more like a Mission Impossible game than a James Bond game. Like, this looks horrible. Now, that's not a knock on Mission Impossible, because you would expect a Mission Impossible game to be a hell of a lot better than this. But my God, does this look horrible. There's no words for it. Why does James Bond, by the way, have a massive scar on his face? Oh, I don't know. Look, here's what the breakdown is of what you're actually going to be playing in this, and then we'll talk a bit more about the trailer. But it says, unlike previous Bond games or films, First Light explores an entirely original story set before Bond earns his iconic 007 title. Players will step into the shoes of a 26-year-old James Bond, a rebellious yet skilled Royal Navy air crewman whose valor and sharp instincts earn him a place in the MI6's elite, newly revived 00 program. Throughout the campaign, Bond will face moral dilemmas, globe-trotting assignments, and high-octane action sequences. Depending on the player's choices, Bond can rely on brute strength, stealth, clever strategy, or even charming persuasion to complete his objectives. And then, of course, you have M in there, you have Q and Miss Moneypenny, who once again is a black female for reasons best known to themselves, and all that stuff. The game looks horrible. Like, it actually looks horrible. Even the graphics, like the environments and stuff, look fine for the most part, more so outdoors than indoors, but the actual people, face-wise, look fine, but the bodies and the movement stuff look terrible. And then once you get into the actual action of this game, it gets even worse. Like, once you start seeing actual gameplay, it looks terrible. It's like, what happened? Where did all the kind of realism go? It just all of a sudden became this, like, wow, it turned into a PlayStation 3 game. But I don't know why they think this was a good idea. Not to mention, and we can't argue this enough, this just shows that MGM having full control, i.e. Amazon, is a bad idea for James Bond. Come back, Broccoli's, all is forgiven. This just shows you that the kind of story structure and the way they're going to have it work out for Bond in movie form and whatnot is going to be terrible, because if this is what they're pushing, James Bond is done. Unfortunately, this game is horrible. Like, Jesus Christ, it looks terrible. Again, from practically the start to like the almost 2-minute mark is all women. It's like, okay, why is there nothing but women in this game and none of them are white? And yeah, good luck with this game. Absolutely good luck with this game. There will be people who will be like, oh my God, this looks fantastic. Fine, but it all comes down to gameplay. And never mind just how bad it looks, but the gameplay will be important. And from the gameplay we see in this game, it looks god-awful as well. It looks like some of the most generic, unappealing garbage that we've seen in quite some time. And that's saying a lot with the state of games nowadays. But let me know anyway in the comments what you think of this game. Are you actually looking forward to it? Are you excited? Does this get you more worried about it? Are you like, ooh, this looks terrible? Do you think it looks fantastic? Let me know. Honestly, let me know, because it's curious, because for me, this just looks horrible and absolutely not a James Bond story. Doesn't look like James Bond, doesn't act like James Bond. Yes, it's meant to be before he becomes 007, but still, you'd assume some of that swagger. It's just not there. There's no feel of James Bond in this. As I said, it looks and feels more like a Mission Impossible game. Either way, let me know what you guys think. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Screw you, Sony, because you're absolutely going to hit us for this. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.